Have you ever held one of these stunning dragon fruits at the supermarket, market, or elsewhere, but had no idea if it was ripe, sweet, or just bland? Dragon fruit is a gorgeous tropical fruit that's refreshing and nutritious, but if you pick the wrong one, all you get is a tasteless fruit, and sometimes even one loaded with growth hormones. It's not cheap either, so choosing the wrong one can be a real waste. In today's video, I'll show you how to pick a perfectly ripe, sweet, and juicy dragon fruit like a pro, whether you're at the market, grocery store, or even growing it at home. The first thing to look at is the shape of the fruit. You'll notice that dragon fruit comes in many shapes. Some are round and plump bodies. Others are long and thin. The sweetness of a dragon fruit can often be roughly judged by its shape. A round, plump dragon fruit usually indicates good growth. It tends to have a higher water and sugar content, a thinner peel, and firmer flesh, which means the flavor will be naturally better and more delicious. In contrast, long and skinny dragon fruits don't grow as well, so the juice and sugar inside are not complete. The nutritional content is less concentrated, and the skin is often thicker. Overall, the flavor is generally not as good as that of a round, well-formed dragon fruit. So, the first tip for choosing dragon fruit is to go for the ones that are short and plump. One important thing to note is that many people mistakenly believe that the bigger the dragon fruit, the better. In reality, choosing dragon fruit based on size alone is a mistake. A big dragon fruit does not guarantee that it will be delicious and sweet. Sometimes it can be bland, airy, or even low quality. The second point is to choose a fruit with wide spacing between the dragon fruit scales. If you want a dragon fruit with a fresh and sweet taste, you should pick one with thinner skin. This means more flesh and better value for your money. To choose one with thin skin and lots of flesh, take a look at the spacing between the scales. Generally, the wider the spacing between the scales, the sweeter the dragon fruit. This is because a well-developed, mature dragon fruit needs more sunlight, which causes the scales to grow farther apart. On the other hand, the gap between the scales is narrower. The fruit tends to be less flavorful or slightly sour due to lack of sunlight and nutrients. To choose a sweeter dragon fruit, you shouldn't only look at the distance between the scales, but also consider their thickness. Fruits with thick scales usually have thicker skin, less flesh, and a less appealing flavor. Dragon fruits with thinner scales tend to have thinner skin and more flesh, resulting in a better taste. So when choosing, remember to choose fruit with wide distance between scales and thin scales. This usually means thinner skin, more flesh, and a sweeter flavor. The third point is based on the color of the skin. When choosing a dragon fruit, you can first look at its color. The redder the surface of the skin, the riper the fruit is. If the skin shows both red and green, the dragon fruit is not yet fully ripe. Observe the color of the scales. The greener, the better. Greener scales indicate freshness. This kind of dragon fruit will taste better, have softer flesh, higher water content, and a relatively sweet flavor. If you notice that the scales have turned yellow and wilted, that means the fruit is not fresh. If the scales have turned yellow-green or even brownish-yellow, don't buy it. That's a sign it has been harvested for a long time and is no longer fresh. The fourth point is to look at the base of the fruit. The base is where the stem connects to the branch. After the dragon fruit is harvested, the stem detaches from the branch and begins to lose moisture until it becomes dry or even rots. When buying dragon fruit, you can assess its freshness by examining the condition of the base. If the base is jade green and still releases some juice when gently squeezed, it means the dragon fruit is relatively fresh and will taste the best. If the base appears dry or rotten, it means it was harvested a long time ago and has lost a lot of moisture. The flesh will be less juicy and less sweet, and it might spoil quickly. So when buying dragon fruit, pay close attention. If the base is dry or rotting, you shouldn't buy it, as this is a clear sign of deterioration. The fifth point is to pay attention to the skin of the dragon fruit when buying. The shinier and smoother the skin, the fresher and tastier the dragon fruit is. When freshly harvested, dragon fruit is still fresh. If you touch the skin, it feels smooth and slightly moist. However, after a long period, the skin changes day by day as moisture gradually evaporates and wrinkles begin to appear. Although the inside may not be heavily affected, the fruit is no longer as fresh. So, you should avoid choosing dragon fruits with wrinkled skin. I believe many people like to eat dragon fruit. But do you know how to cut dragon fruit beautifully? Let's share with you some simple and practical ways to cut dragon fruit. Everyone will praise it when served. First tip. First, we use a knife to remove scales. When the dragon fruit is ripe, whether the dragon fruit is sweet or not, is also very much related to the scales. If the overall distance between the scales is wider, the dragon fruit is sweeter because the dragon fruit is facing the sun and grows better. As the dragon fruit gradually matures, the scales will become shorter, and the skin will also become thinner, so choosing a dragon fruit with short scales and a wide distance between the scales will be more delicious. You should pay attention to the characteristics of the scales when buying to choose a delicious dragon fruit. Next, we will cut off the head and tail of the dragon fruit. Now, the dragon fruit is shaped like a small ball. Then, we use a knife to cut several V-shapes in the middle of the dragon fruit. Cut the V-shapes one after another. The next V-shape must be connected to the previous V-shape, and each knife cut must be cut in the middle of the fruit. You do this continuously until you have created a V-shaped circle around the dragon fruit. Where are you from? Please leave a comment to let me know. Then, use your hands to gently hold the two ends of the dragon fruit and break it in half to separate it. Wow, so beautiful! It's nice to know that we see each other all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. It's great to see your support. Then use your hands to peel off a little bit of the outer skin at each sharp corner, keeping a part to wrap the dragon fruit. Now the cut dragon fruit looks like a beautiful flower. When guests come to your house, you cut it like this. It looks like a masterpiece of art. It's also very convenient to eat. Just hold the edge of the dragon fruit and peel it and eat it, or use a knife to divide it into many parts from the corners and eat it on the table. Not bad at all. What do you think? Second tip. Prepare one dragon fruit. Cut it in half lengthwise. Use a round spoon to scrape dragon fruit into ball-like pieces. The dragon fruit balls look very beautiful. You just scrape like that until you run out of fruit flesh. Finally, the peel is left, and you can use it as a decorative bowl. Next, arrange the dragon fruit balls in the half peel. Finally, you have a bowl of dragon fruit with small balls that look very beautiful. Now just put it on the dining table. If you put it on the party table, it will definitely attract the attention of diners. With this unique cutting method, children will definitely love it. For children who are lazy to eat fruit, you can use this method to encourage them to eat more. Just use a fork to enjoy these delicious and nutritious small balls. What do you think about this way of cutting dragon fruit? Have you remembered how to choose fresh and sweet dragon fruit? Give it a try. How do you usually cut dragon fruit? Leave a comment below to share your method with others. Thank you for your support. The video ends here. If you have any comments, please leave a comment below. If you find the video interesting, please give me a like. Don't forget to share it with your relatives and friends. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Goodbye. See you in the next video.